Learn English through American poetry. Introduction. The magic of poetry. Poetry is a beautiful and powerful way to learn English. It captures emotions, ideas, and stories in a unique and rhythmic way. Unlike everyday speech, poetry allows us to experience the beauty of language through sound, rhythm, and imagery. American poetry, in particular, is rich with cultural expression and historical significance. It reflects the thoughts, dreams, and struggles of people across different eras. Learning English through poetry can help improve vocabulary, pronunciation, and comprehension. The rhythm and rhyme in poetry make it easier to remember words and phrases. Additionally, poetry introduces idioms, metaphors, and cultural references that are commonly used in everyday English. In this essay, we will explore how American poetry enhances language learning by examining common phrases, literary devices, and practical exercises that will make learning more engaging and effective. Poetry for everyday English. Many American poems contain words and phrases that are useful for everyday communication. Some poems use common idioms, while others introduce new ways of expressing ideas. Understanding these expressions can make conversations more natural and fluent. For example, in Robert Frost's famous poem The Road Not Taken, the line, "Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both." The phrase "the road not taken" has become an idiom in English, meaning a choice that was not made. This expression is often used in conversations to reflect on past decisions. Similarly, in Emily Dickinson's "Hope is the Thing with Feathers," she writes, "Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul." Here, Dickinson uses a metaphor to describe hope as a small bird. This phrase is now widely used to represent the idea of hope as something delicate yet powerful. Learning such expressions through poetry helps English learners recognize and use them naturally in conversations. By reading and analyzing American poetry, learners can expand their vocabulary and improve their understanding of figurative language. This makes speaking and writing in English more expressive and meaningful. Beyond the words, unlocking meaning. Poetry is not just about words. It is about meaning. Many poems use literary devices such as imagery, symbolism, metaphors, and similes to create deeper meanings. Understanding these techniques can help learners think in English and develop a better appreciation of the language. For example, in Langston Hughes's poem Dreams, he writes, "Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly." Here, Hughes uses a metaphor to compare life without dreams to a bird with a broken wing. This creates a powerful image that makes the idea easier to understand. By recognizing such literary devices, English learners can deepen their comprehension of texts and improve their ability to express thoughts creatively. Another example is found in Walt Whitman's "O Captain, My Captain," where he writes, "O Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every wreck. The prize we sought is won." This poem is an extended metaphor, where the captain represents President Abraham Lincoln, and the ship symbolizes the United States after the Civil War. Understanding this symbolism helps learners connect historical and cultural contexts with language, making learning more meaningful. By studying these poetic techniques, learners can recognize similar patterns in novels, speeches, and even everyday conversations. This not only improves comprehension, but also makes language learning more enjoyable and memorable. Putting it into practice. To truly benefit from poetry, learners should actively engage with poems. Here are some practical steps to help learners use poetry as a language learning tool. Read aloud. Choose a short poem and read it aloud multiple times. This helps improve pronunciation, rhythm, and intonation. Identify key words. Underline or highlight new vocabulary words. Look up their meanings and try to use them in sentences. Analyze the poem. Ask yourself questions like, what is the poem about? What emotions does it express? Are there any metaphors or similes? Rewrite in your own words. Try paraphrasing the poem in simpler English. This helps reinforce understanding. Write your own poem. Using a similar style or theme, create a short poem. This encourages creativity and helps reinforce new vocabulary. For example, a simple poem for practice could be, the sun shines bright, the sky is blue, the birds are singing, morning's new at a gentle breeze, the flowers sway, a perfect start to a brand new day. Learners can then try modifying the poem by changing words or adding new lines. This simple activity enhances vocabulary and boosts confidence in writing. Conclusion: a poetic journey for English learners. Learning English through American poetry is a rewarding and enriching experience. Poetry helps learners improve vocabulary, understand literary devices, and appreciate the beauty of language. By reading and analyzing poems, learners can gain deeper insights into American culture and history. Poetry is not just about reading, it is about feeling, understanding, and expressing. Engaging with poetry allows learners to develop a stronger emotional connection to the language, making learning more enjoyable and meaningful. To continue this journey, learners can explore poetry websites such as the Poetry Foundation or listen to poetry readings online. Sharing interpretations and writing personal poems can also be a great way to practice and improve language skills. As you explore poetry, remember that language learning is a journey, not a destination. Keep reading, keep writing, and keep discovering the magic of poetry. Your journey with English is just beginning, and poetry will be a wonderful companion along the way. Key vocabulary and meaning. Here are some key vocabulary words from the essay along with their meanings. Rhythm, a strong, regular pattern of sounds or movements in poetry or music. Imagery, descriptive language that creates pictures in the reader's mind. Idiom, a phrase with a meaning different from its individual words. Metaphor, a figure of speech that describes something as if it were something else. Symbolism, the use of symbols to represent ideas or qualities. Fluency, the ability to speak or write a language smoothly and easily. Pronunciation, the way in which a word is spoken. Comprehension, the ability to understand what is read or heard. Paraphrase, to express the same idea using different words. Engaging, interesting, and enjoyable. Expressive, showing emotions or ideas clearly. Extended metaphor, a metaphor that continues throughout a poem or text, e.g., "Oh, Captain," "My Captain," representing Abraham Lincoln. Cultural context, the ideas, customs, and social behaviors of a particular society that influence meaning in literature. Interpretation, an explanation of the meaning of something, such as a poem or story. Creativity, the ability to produce new and original ideas.